Hello there, good people. How you doing? NWA here on Thursday, February the 18th, 2016. And you've read the title of the video, so don't come in here and please don't come in here to complain about me covering this, because I'm doing this for the greater good of the truth movement sort of thing. Now, this video is for all those folks who have been suckered into the flat earth psyop. I want to debunk flat earth once and for all. I want there to be no question that we live on a sphere. I can't tell you the exact dimensions. I'm not here to tell you that, but I can tell you, I can prove to you 100% that this earth is definitely curved. And you just need one word. One word says it all when it comes to debunking the flat earth, and that word is Toronto. Yes, Toronto, Canada's largest city. Greater Toronto is over 8 million people. This city, if you haven't been there, it's just huge. You can't imagine how big it is. Even this screenshot can't even give you the idea of how massive Toronto is and how impressive the skyline is next to New York and possibly Chicago. Possibly. Toronto is the most impressive skyline in all of the Americas. It is just jaw-dropping when you see it. And this was the tallest building in the world for 30 years or so. It has since been surpassed. That is, of course, the CN Tower. There are many buildings in here that are well over 50, 60, some of them 70 stories. And they keep building more. They're going to build more that are 80, 100 stories. I mean, it's just booming all the time, Toronto. And it is a very impressive city. I've been there so many times. I have a lot of family and friends there and all that. It's not Montreal, of course, but it's still definitely a great place to check out. And if you're American, why not? Why not go up on a trip to Toronto? You'll save a lot of money, especially with the dollar, the Canadian dollar being as atrocious as it is right now. Now, Toronto, if you look across from Lake Ontario, which I've done many times, and this is one of the reasons why I would never question what the curvature of the earth. This is typically what you'll see if you've got binoculars or a zoom-in camera. You'll see just the tops of some of the buildings. Now, there are thousands of buildings in Toronto, but you'll only see the very tops of the tallest buildings from Toronto. Unless, of course, you're up high in a tower, hundreds and hundreds of feet up in the air, like this. And this is the type of disinfo that flat earth shills will push as evidence that the earth is flat. No, what you'll typically see, what you'll always see, is just the tops of certain buildings in Toronto. All right, and you could check this out yourself. You could drive up to Buffalo, close by, Niagara-on-the-Lake. You could see it yourself with your very own eyes. You can see it yourself, all right? There are so many perfect examples of this and so many photos that back this up. This proves the only explanation, of course, is that the earth is curved, and that's why you can only see the tops of the buildings, all right? That is it. Point final. That should be enough. You should, pack it up, go home now, and unsubscribe from all the disinfo channels that are pushing this complete, utter nonsense. All right? Toronto is the best proof that exists. Now, here's a short video that I'll show you. 33. Oh, no, it's 33. 33 miles across from Lake Ontario. It's about 30 miles, really, the distance. I'll show you this in a second. But let's just take a look at this quick little video here, which illustrates the point perfectly. There is, of course, the Toronto skyline. You could see these. I've been at this particular spot observing this exact sign that is here. Sunset, late October. Probably a good time, right? And that's what you see, the tops of the buildings in Toronto. Now, in case you're wondering, the CN Tower itself is it's like 562 meters or something like that. These buildings are hundreds and hundreds of stories tall. This is a massive city, all right? An absolutely jaw-droppingly massive city. Very impressive city in terms of skyline. And look, you can only see certain buildings. That's all you can see, the tops of the tallest buildings. This one here, 71 stories, the one with the Bank of Montreal logo on it, sort of thing, right? And that's perfectly explained. Perfectly explained. There's lots of videos like this. Here's another one, right? Maybe a bit of a clearer day, you might have a little bit more atmosphere refraction happening. There's just lots of examples of this, right, all over YouTube. Where you zoom in, you can just see the tops. Maybe it's a clear day, it's got a little bit better atmosphere refraction happening. You can catch a little bit more of the shorter buildings. But all these buildings are massive. Once you get to Toronto, you walk around, you see. So if you just see and you put the eye level. So if we're standing by Lake Ontario, say like one of these videos here that I showed you, or these photographs, you might be 30, 40 feet up from the sea level, or at least Lake Ontario. So we'll say about 40 feet, right? And the target distance. Now let me show you here. Google Earth. Right, I'll just get back to Google Earth here. Hang on a second. So Google Earth, we'll go. All right, there's Niagara on the Lake. Very beautiful. Go there. There's all kinds of vineyards and wineries and stuff like that, and theater. Nice little place to take a vacation, and it's not too expensive, so you might want to do this. So let's take this. I think I have it in miles. Let's take this. There's downtown Toronto. We'll just put a marker there, and then we'll go across. And as you can see, it's 28 miles, maybe 29 miles. We'll say 29 miles just for argument's sake. So let's say 29 miles. So calculate. Now I'm here at this website that calculates the curvature of the Earth essentially and how much of the target will be hidden. Well, at 40 feet up from, say, Lake Ontario, at a distance of 29 miles, about 300 feet will be obscured. That perfectly matches what we see over and over again with all the photographs of Toronto viewed from across Lake Ontario. It's a slam dunk, folks. It's done. There's nothing more that you need to see to realize that Toronto is the perfect example of how this works. This proves beyond any doubt. Nobody can look at this and say, no, that's not true. Whoops, I don't know where I'm going now here with this. Oh, I wanted to show that photo there, right? Nobody can debate that Toronto, if the Earth was truly flat, you'd be able to see right from the bottom up. You'd be able, on a clear day, you'd be able to take your camera, and you can't. Now, there are days where the temperatures and the atmospheric refraction will give you more view. You'll get a better view of the city because light does bend, and that's called science. I know that's really hard for some people, a concept that's really hard for some people to grasp. But that's the fact. All right. Now, Toronto, this is cool too. You can see here this sign, which if you're at Niagara on the Lake, you can look across and you can see, and it describes the whole thing and why you can only see certain types of the building. It just talks about how tall some of these buildings are. As you can see, this one here is 978 feet tall. That's 72 stories. This is the one with the Bank of Montreal logo on it, right? So what can't you see? Well, it's the bottom 300 feet. That's all it is, folks. It's as simple as that. This one's 731 feet. You can't see the bottom 300 feet. That's why when I showed you before, where was it? The skyline. Look at all the buildings. Look at all the buildings. There are buildings everywhere in Toronto. And of course, when you do try to zoom in and see a portion of it from across the lake, all you see is the very tallest buildings. It can't be more clear than that. All right, this, if you don't believe it, go to Toronto. Go across from Lake Ontario. Take your camera, take your binoculars, and you will see it for yourself. All the proof in the world that you need that the Earth is curved. Nobody's fooling you. These aren't images that have been doctored. I've photographed this myself many times. This is 100% proof that debunks the flat Earth. Please share this video with everyone you know that has fallen for the flat Earth Psy0p. Thank you so much for listening. I wish you a wonderful evening.